Welcome back. All right, it is time for our What's It Worth segment with Jeffrey Hess of Old Northeast Jewelers.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey Hess with Old Northeast Jewelers. I'm the guy that writes the column every Sunday in the newspaper called What's It Worth? And today we're going to do What's It Worth? Talking about opals. Opals are probably one of the most misunderstood gemstones in the world, and for good reason. They are mined by the metric ton in Australia, and they are affordable. You can buy them for a few dollars, and they get up to be worth tens of thousands of dollars. So we're going to show you 4 distinct different examples of opal. First, we're going to start off with what you see in a department store. This is a very whitish opal, very little play of color, and play of color is a term the industry uses for how bright the colors are, how varied the colors are, how they jump out at you. Sometimes they're little bitty pinpoints that jump out, sometimes they're big flashes of color that jump out. This is called the cabochon cut, which is kind of curved on the top, and this is very, very inexpensive. You could buy these in the department stores mounted in silver for $20 or $30 or $40, mounted in gold for a couple of $100, $300, but the resale value is very, very little. Next, we're going to show you what is called a jelly opal. Now, jelly opals are pretty much just what the name says. They look like they're suspended in jelly. A little more desirable. Sometimes they have a good play of color, but not the best, but they're cool. When they're really, really big sizes, sometimes they can be worth a lot of money. But the resale value of this, again, is probably in the $10 to $50 range. It doesn't bring a lot of money if you go to sell it. Now, this is kind of what you're looking for here in the world of opal. That's called a black opal. The play of color is not too bad. It's got some reds, a little bit of oranges, but mostly it's blue and black. Now, blue and green. Black opals are not black, as you can see. They're just darker, and they're very, very popular. This is a small one, not cut real well, worth a couple of $100 if you were going to bring it into us to sell at our store at International Plaza or on 4th Street in St. Pete. But when these get large, and when they're cabochons, and when they have a better play of color, they can be worth hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars. That's called a black opal. Last, we're going to show you a beautiful, beautiful opal. Now, you can see from the design that this was probably made in the 1960s, has that kind of nuggety design, and it's huge. It is a monster. Unfortunately, it's what we call a boulder opal, which kind of means it's in the rough. But it has extraordinary play of color. There are some beautiful, beautiful reds, flashes of reds that jump out at you, some oranges, some greens, some blues, and it's in the rough. And yet we paid $1,500 for this because it's so cool. Now, if this were large enough to be turned into a cabochon cut like the earlier ones you saw, if we're large enough to have a rounded top, and still had that incredible play of color, this would be worth $20,000 to $30,000 because it's huge. It's about 17 to 18 millimeters by 15 millimeters. So that's really the kind of color you're looking for in an opal. Red is the dominant color, orange is the next most popular color, and then you get into the greens and the blues and all kinds of other colors. But that's a real beauty. That's why we like opals, and that's why we are one of the nation's top buyers of estate jewelry. If you have estate jewelry and you don't give us a shot at one of our stores, you are making a huge mistake, if I do say so myself. Stop by our store on 4th Street in St. Pete or at International Plaza, right beneath Tiffany, and thank you.